You're watching Daybreak, reaching you live from the nation's capital in Abuja. Now back to the PDP, talking about politics. Former governor of Anambra State and running mate to the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate in the 2009 election, Peter Obi, has picked the party's nomination and expression of interest forms to contest for the 2023 presidency. Obi is now set to contest against his former boss, ex-Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who had earlier obtained form to vie for the same position. The form is reportedly purchased by some of his supporters. Now we have Ismail Mudashir joining us via telephone, the group politics editor of Daily Trust newspaper, to give us perspectives on this. And also in the studio, we have a member of the PDP in person of Faisal Isa, who is also going to be talking about the same issue. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you.
Okay, Muda, we saw the big story on the cover of the Daily Trust this morning, essentially predicting that the PDP will jettison the idea of zoning. We know as of today that they have up to 11 or 12, if I'm not mistaken, presidential aspirants in the party. Can you give us, a background to this big story on the cover page of Daily Trust?
Good morning, viewers. At its meeting last Tuesday, members of the zoning committee of the leading opposition party, People's Democratic Party, from it, told us that they've agreed to open contest to all aspirants, meaning that there is a plan to petition zoning. If you recall, there's been agitation in the party that the zoning arrangement should be maintained. But the top shot of the party that attended the last meeting told us that there is a plan to petition. In fact, it has been concluded that by their next meeting, which has been slated for next Tuesday, the issue is going to be finalized.
So what are the feelers with regards to this? How do you think the party members, especially of the parts that feels that this is genuinely their opportunity to produce a presidential candidate, what feelers are you getting? How are they taking these early signals about the likelihood of this?
The both sides is claiming that it's their turn to produce the next presidential candidate. The Southerners are saying that the state zoning arrangement favors them, while the Northerners too are saying the zoning arrangement favors them. Because according to the Northerners, that out of the 15 years so far that the PDP reigned in the country, 14 years were occupied by the Southerners. Obasanjo 8 years, former President Jonathan 6 years. So they are saying that it is their turn. So both sides are arguing. So, but with this new arrangement that we gathered and we've reported in today's paper, they want to open it to all both sides. So the aspirants, so far we have 13 aspirants. All the aspirants will now move out and campaign and market themselves. Anybody who is able to pick the ticket will now become the flag bearer of the party. And I think it does. And I think from my own perspective, I think it's good for the party.
Oh, okay, now let's get perspectives from our guest here in the studio.
Hello?
Just hold on, Muda, while we get perspectives from our guest here in the studio, Faisal Isa. Now, do you have any fear at all, regarding this move by your party? Are there odds that are against the party, towing this path, in the coming 2023 elections?
Honestly, there is no fear within me pertaining this zoning issue, because it's a clear picture thing. So pertaining zoning as it's a common problem in the nation now. It shouldn't be a problem anyway, because what we need in this country now is competency, not zoning, because zoning democratically has no even law guiding to it. So there's no reason.
So, but while you have that discussion also, another thing to consider is the electoral value of the various regions, isn't it? That's also an important consideration that you've always had. And, you know, the candidates that the opposition party to you, that's the, you know, the rival party to you will be putting forward, and, you know, whether or not you can be able to match that in the 2023 elections.
No, we're talking about the scope within PDP, right? And if you're comparing it with what is happening in APC, it's a different phenomenon or from looking angle. PDP has already organized the opening of candidates to pick up the best candidate to run this country, because we have a lot of problems in this country. So all what we need is a candidate that will lead this country forward, not a candidate that will just based on selfish interest or within the party interest.
But are you not worried that this multiplication of candidates, as it were, indicating interest in the PDP may, I mean, given the time frame you have, may further polarize the party structures rather than you know, create a sense of unity?
Yes, as I said earlier on, or I try to say now, you see, in life, there's always an advantage and disadvantage of whatever point of view that we pick up, right? Zoning in one angle could be positive, or maybe we will achieve something out of it positively, while not zoning as well. But if you see what is happening right now in the country, we just have to adopt the best quality from picking a good candidate that will lead this country forward.
But does that presupposes that if you zone, you are not able to find the right quality from a particular zone that can lead this country?
That is what we are afraid of, because at the end, because of the time frame, we may end up picking a wrong candidate or a wrong person that will lead this country based on this what I'm saying, selfish interest. You understand my point? So basically, what PDP has designed to pick up, I think it will sort out the problem during the primaries. That is where a lot of candidates will come in, and the people of the nation will pick up the better candidate, because people know who will lead this country for the better. So there's no reason for why people should agitate more on the zoning issue. We have other countries, bigger countries that has a lot of tribes, and in diverse, it's something like United States of America has the largest number of tribes, you know, which has about 570 tribes. That's in United States of America, and there's nothing like zoning. You understand? And the country move forward. It has the best facilities infrastructurally. And what do you think about? So I don't think this is going to be a problem in PDP as well.
But I hope that the language will not change, really, by the time the primaries are conducted and then we see someone emerge from a particular region of the country, because I'm concerned about how it will all play out at the end of the day if you put forward your own candidate, you know, from the PDP, and then if you take a look at the APC have already made it clear that they are zoning to the southern part of the country. So when you have, say, for instance, someone emerge from the PDP, say from the northern part of the country, for instance, and, you know, the APC is having from the south, you know, how, you know, all of that is going to pan out.
I will assure you, whatever or whoever the candidate that the PDP will produce will definitely defeat the candidate of APC, because APC, by zoning, in fact, from me looking and from my own perspective, I can see they're producing wrong candidates. And if you see how they ran their system previously, from where the governance started up to now, you see a lot of.
But the APC will say the same thing about the 16 years rule of the PDP. They have several reasons to puncture how things were done in the last 16 years.
That is naturally done anyway. The other party must have something to say.
That's true. I would like to follow up with, we have seen some kind of languages coming out from some of the presidential aspirants, you know, throwing wood in the clog, referring to how some of the biggest aspirants, if you like, have had cause to jump the ship, and when it became convenient, they come back. Is it time to begin to point at the ills or unite forces? How do you think what we are seeing, as outsiders and onlookers, would impact eventually who gets the nod?
This is a tough one anyway, but as I said, it shouldn't be a problem at all. You understand my point? Jumping from one party to the other has never been a solution. You understand my point? It has never been a solution. You're only compounding from one problem to another. So there is no.
Call recording has now ended.
There is no how do I make it? There's no clear picture. You understand? That indicates that if PDP picks up a quality candidate, as it says, or as it's trying to, will bring a problem that will affect the party, or maybe what do you call it? APC candidate will beat up the PDP. As I said earlier, every party has its own right, or what do you call it? Point of view. Yeah.
Okay, let's get perspectives from Mudashir, who is standing by via telephone. Mudashir, from where you stand, what are the risks, attached to this decision that the PDP is taking?
No, I don't see any risk in it. I think they've taken the right decision. You understand, from my own perspective, as I stated earlier on, what is obtainable in APC should not be a benchmark for the PDP. The incumbent president is from the north. The argument being adduced by the top shot of the PDP is that they can go to anywhere and pick their presidential candidates, unlike what is obtainable in the APC. That the president is concluding his second term, that they have to go to the south. That's the argument. So as far as I'm concerned, I think they are on the right track. Because if you look at the aspirants, there are so far 13 aspirants, and if you look at them, their popularity and their electoral value, you will see that most of those people that are terrible in quotes are from the north.
Muda, let me correct this. The graphics we have on screen shows that it's Abubakar talking to us from Zaria, but it's actually Mudashir, who is our group politics editor of the Daily Trust. Coming to you, Mr. Ismail, we have seen a party chairman emerge in the APC of a certain age category, and we have seen the front runners. Is there a possibility, with this general clamor by Nigerians for a younger president, is there a possibility that we see a younger Nigerian pick up the PDP ticket for the forthcoming presidential election?
That most of them are not young persons. You can just analyze and check the 13 aspirants in their record. Most of them are above 60.
Okay. Thank you very much, Muda. Have a nice day ahead while we continue with my Ismail in the studio.
Okay, thank you very much. I wish you all the best. Have a nice day.
What would you say about the clamor for a younger president in Nigeria? Is it not a germane call? Is there a problem finding people within that young age bracket who have the necessary exposure and intelligence to advance the cause of this country?
Yes, I will support the young age matter, 100%. But if we don't have these young people that will come out to get voted for the seat, and we have more competent at the top age, then there shouldn't be a problem. What I'm trying to say now, the ticket is open for everybody to pick. And we have more intellectual people that can run this country from that kind of age, at 60 below, right? Because of the technical know-how, the intellectuality, and the capability that the modern world is giving. If you see now, we are moving fast into modernization. Technologically, the world is advanced. So it's not only by appliances.
The young people are saying, Mr. Faisal, that
Yes.
when you peg a presidential ticket interest form at 40 million, you're already telling them that this race
It's not for them.
you. How would you react to that?
Yes, actually, the price is expensive. It's quite expensive.
Is it designed
have to
keep
be so?
a section
No,
of
it doesn't
people-
have to be so. But when you look at the economic situation now, it just have to be, because the amount should meet up the demand of the party, or demand of the parties. The two parties has their own prices. I don't support the expenses, but being the situation, the economic stature of the nation warrant that to happen. So it doesn't mean because it is said 40 million for the ticket. It has to be you as a candidate to pick up. If you're actually good and you're excellent, you understand what I'm saying? People can buy the form for you, or your society or your community individually can buy the form for you. It depends on how quality you are and how capable you are. And people will look at it. Just look at example with our Vice President Atiku Abubakar. It was a group of people, the marketers, that bought his ticket.
It's always been a group of people that will buy the tickets. I mean, we all know, about this, but I mean, that's just by the way. But we thank you so much. We'll have to end the discussion at this point. We look forward to having you again
Thank you
on
very
Daybreak.
much. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
for coming.
Yeah, we've been speaking with Ismail Isa, a member, Faisal Isa rather, sorry. Faisal Isa, member of the PDP, and also an aspirant himself in the coming elections. We wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day too.
All right.